we are right now entering into the separation age. The separation age is about having access to information, but actually doing something with that information. It's no longer a time to just know. We can even know how, but it's the time to do. Welcome to the Empowered Life Podcast, a space dedicated to one belief that you have the power within to create everything you seek. So if you are ready to step into a new kind of higher learning, the kind that leads to true personal freedom, hang here with me. I'm your host, Rudi Riekstins, and this is the Empowered Life. Welcome to the Empowered Life Podcast. My name is Rudi Riekstins. I'm your host, and I am honored and truly grateful to have you here. Today's episode is really about challenging whether you are committed to the vision that you have for your life. I woke up on Sunday morning with the thought in my mind that I need to record an episode that is speaking into what are the things that you're doing every single day. If we look at your incremental habits that are supporting you in creating the life that you want. And the number one reason that I see in why people do not achieve what it is that they want. And let me ground that for a second. 95% of people's goals are never realized, which means less than 5% of people on the planet actually commit to doing something and then make the necessary changes, take the necessary steps, move forward, and ultimately achieve what it is that they set out to achieve. Very few even exceed that level of potential. And so the difference between whether you do or whether you don't, in my opinion, is heavily grounded ultimately just in worthiness. That if you do not feel worthy of the dream, worthy of the goal, worthy of the desire to have that, then you're never going to take the necessary steps in order to achieve that. As a high performance coach, I love to study people. I study patterns. I study behavior. And I'm going to tell you now, if I were to spend 2 to 3 weeks with you and just followed you around like a fly on the wall, I would be able to tell you your future simply by watching what it is that you do every single day. So this episode, short, sweet, powerful, direct, and to the point, is supposed to be an awakening within you, something that is going to challenge you to take a look at your life, not in a judgment, not in a shaming, not in a blaming kind of way, but in the kind of way that says, man, do I want to be the 95% of people that does not follow through? Or am I ready to make the necessary change, the change that's required to support me in ultimately to be able to create the catalytic shift that I know is within reach? I do this every single day at an exceptionally high level. I am supporting people in stepping forward out of their comfort zones, doing things that they otherwise would feel very, very uncomfortable doing, and they end up achieving greatness. And when they do, they turn around and they say, I never realized how easy it would be. Now, let me clarify. When I say that they turn around and say, I didn't realize how easy it would be, they didn't mean that it didn't take effort. They don't mean that it wasn't a lot of hard work, but they realized it was actually pretty easy. It was simple. The process was simple. And that is committing to your vision and then figuring out what are the necessary steps in order to get you there. And then even when you don't want to, especially when you don't want to, taking necessary steps that are going to move you in the direction of where it is that you ultimately want to go. And so I'm going to challenge you today to look at all the areas of your life, as I've challenged you so many times on the Empowered Life podcast, whether it's through my solo episodes, Aniston and I having a dialogue that is an extension of what happens on our couch every single evening, or bringing in incredible human beings who have achieved greatness in life so that they can turn around and share it. It has always been in servitude of you. My whole point of this podcast is to share tips, tricks, hacks, and ways that you can step into your inner knowing so that you can come here and live the greatest life experience ultimately that you have for you. I do believe that you have been destined to achieve greatness, and that I don't think that a single person on the planet has not come here to do something really profound. But in doing that, it is going to require you to shift out of your old patterns of behavior. And so I want you to point out just a few areas. And these are just thought starters for you. And you can noodle, if you will, on this after the episode. If you have a desire to have like the most incredible, sensational relationship with your partner, then what is the quality of the relationship right now? And what is the thing that is holding you back from having that 10 out of 10 love making, explosive, romantic, powerful, beautiful, heartfelt, soul led relationship? Because what I find is that most people that are saying that they want to have a high level quality relationship, well, they avoid conflict. And if they're avoiding conflict, then that's the thing that's preventing them from breaking through to the other side. When I do high performance trainings inside of organizations, I actually teach teams, entire teams inside of companies, to get very comfortable with conflict. I actually encourage them to seek out conflict. Now, let me clarify what I mean. I have no intention of getting you or an entire company to go around looking for a fight. We're not trying to pick fights, but we are looking for areas where there is conflict, because where there's conflict, there's the potential of resolution. And if you were to go into your relationship, and I'm only starting with the relationship with your spouse or with your girlfriend or with your husband or your fiance, and I want you to pay attention to what is the quality of that relationship like? Where is there conflict? Where is there resistance? And where are you avoiding the actual hard conversation of being able to say, hey, when you do that thing, this is how it makes me feel. Or the other day when you didn't do that thing, it made me feel this way or led me to make that decision, or here's why I react this way or that way. It is only in having the hard conversations that we get to break through to the other side to have the incredible relationship that is on the other end of this. I want to give you another example. So many people say to me that they want to have perfect health. And I want you to really think about what that means. You know, they want to have perfect health. And when I ask them, what do you think you need to do in order to achieve perfect health? Well, everybody can tell me what they should be doing, but few people actually tell me what they are doing. And there's the difference. And I don't mean what they are doing that has led them to where they are right now. I mean the thing that they should be doing that will lead them to where they want to go. And so we did a 2-part episode, Anderson and I, where we dove really into some of the simple practices that I have implemented into my life, into my everyday, that I now teach in companies, to leaders of organizations, and to the teams within, on how to self-regulate, how to be able to trust your own intuition. What are the simple practices that we should do each and every single day? How can you mind map what your day is going to look like a mental rehearsal of your day and of your life? And all of these skills are vitally important for you living an empowered life, for you to be able to access the inner knowing that is within you. But with this inner knowing, I had said that we are in what is the information age. We have access to information. Examples of being able to go onto ChatGPT right now and search how to do something. You will get a step-by-step instruction guide, which means you could literally do anything if you could follow just a step-by-step instruction. Well, if we can get the information at our fingertips in an instant, then what is creating separation between the people that do and the people that don't? And so I speak into, we are right now entering into the separation age. And if you didn't listen to the 2-part episode before this, I'm going to strongly encourage you to go back and listen to it so that you get the full breadth of the point behind why I'm recording these episodes. The separation age is about having access to information, but actually doing something with that information. It's no longer a time to just know. We can even know how, but it's the time to do. It's the time to put one foot in front of the other and put the next foot in front of the other, and then the next foot in front of that, and your body will follow. And it is about creating the incremental shifts and changes that will create the most profound shift in your life. So we can learn how, we can follow step-by-step instructions, but if we're not taking the committed action, we're never going to achieve the desired result. And the separation age is between the people who are taking action and the people who are going to continue to repeat the patterns of the past and not create the change. And so if you were thinking about perfect health and what would perfect health look like to you, without even having to do a ChatGPT search, you could tell me, well, you should probably work out 5 days a week. You could probably tell me you should eat 2,000 calories. You should probably tell me you should eat less than 12 to 18 grams of sugar a day. You should tell me that you could cut back on this, and that. And then I would ask, if those are all the steps that you should be taking, meaning you have access to the information, then what's preventing you from being able to take that step? And so if we know that we need to have hard conflict conversations to get the resolution on the other side, to have the incredible relationship, we know that we have to work out and move our body and get appropriate levels of sleep so that we can be higher level performers and have a stronger physique, and so we can live longer and have a more healthy and robust quality of life. We can know intellectually we have to do these things, but if we're not physically doing them, then that brings me back to ground zero. The reason most people fail, the most people quit, why most people self-sabotage, and why the majority of people give up long before they even declare the goal, it's not that they don't want the thing. We all want the loving relationship. We all want the healthy body. We all want the six-pack, but we don't have all of those things because on some level, we do not feel worthy of what it is that we seek. And you are worthy. I remind people that you have a dream for your life. You have a vision for who you want to be. And no one gave you that vision other than you and your creator. And you have to decide one day, are you worthy of that vision? And if you are worthy of the vision, what are you prepared to be able to take the necessary steps? And if you find that you are getting stuck, then you have to begin with the worthiness. And so what I want you to do is to clarify, who do you want to be? What do you want your life to look like? And once you've clarified who you want to be and what the life is that you want to live, then I want you to ask yourself, if you have that dream or that goal, where did it come from? Who gave it to you? Was it your mom? Was it your dad? Was it your environment? Was it a spouse? Or has that desire always been within you? And when you can connect that that came from something greater than you, from the very thing that birthed you, gave you life, that is flowing to you and through you, exactly the same force that's created the universe in its divinity and in its likeness. And if anyone on planet Earth has been able to achieve something similar to what you've been able to dream up, then it means that it's possible. And if it's possible, that means it's also possible for you. So often I hear people say, oh, that's impossible. I could never do that. And impossible, when you break up the word, is literally just, I'm possible. And you are. And everything that you have as a desire for yourself, for your life, for your future is very much possible for you, especially because that was planted on your heart and it's for you to bring out and into the world. And if it's possible for somebody else and they're worthy of achieving it, and they were created by the same force that created you, and the same life force is flowing to them, through them, that is to you, through you, then you are also worthy. And if your heart was beautifully curated to beat without even giving conscious thought to it, the same intelligence that's creating your fingernails to grow, your heart to beat, the sky to be blue, all of the divinity and everything is reinforcing that you are, in fact, a divinely curated being. And your entire journey here is to remember that you are worthy and that your worthiness is not going to come externally from anyone else. There is no book that you can read that's going to give you your worthiness. There's no person that can come into your life, knock on your door, and hand you a box of worthiness. There isn't a single product, a pair of jeans, a car, a house, even a life partner that can give you your worthiness. You need to wake up every single day and reaffirm to yourself, I am already whole. I am already healed, and I am worthy. And when you have reframed, rebuilt the fact that you are, in fact, worthy for your dream, and the bigger the dream, the bigger you have to build that stack of worthiness. And then once you have reestablished that you are, in fact, worthy, and that there is the potential that if you took committed action, you could achieve the thing that you ultimately want to achieve, then you have to look at what is it that you're currently doing and what could you change. And if you changed one little thing and then you compounded that to make another little change and another little change, and you continued to create those changes, where would your life be? Because if you're avoiding the hard conversations, you're never going to have the deep, meaningful, loving relationship. If you're wanting perfect health, are you committed to waking up getting 8 hours of sleep, making sure that you're getting the right levels of deep sleep, the right levels of REM? Are you making sure that you're not drinking alcohol or eating sugar and that you're cutting down on all the unnecessary processed foods? I so often have conversations with people about perfect health and wanting to live a joyful, beautiful, and abundant life. I had a conversation with an elderly gentleman the other day, and he was sharing with me that his goal is to be able to get down on his knees and play with his grandkids. But he was eating French fries and fried chicken. And if you're eating French fries and fried chicken cooked in seed oil, then you're saying what you want is you want to have really optimal health. You want to live long. You want to be healthy. You want mobility. And then you're eating a seed oil, which is literally toxic, rancid food. And it is now slowing down your physical vessel. And if you're slowing down your body and you're eating essentially crap that your body now has to work twice as hard to fix, then you're sending a mixed signal. And the signal is, oh, I want that, but it's probably not going to happen for me. So I'm just going to eat this thing that in the short term is going to taste nice or delicious, or at least trigger a memory that makes me feel loved or enjoy. But in actuality is taking you away from the very thing that you're seeking. And so your job is to today look at every single micro decision that you're making and then ask yourself, is this moving me closer to or further from the very life that I seek? And if it is moving you away from, then just pause and in that moment ask yourself one simple question. Could I make a better decision right now? We're not trying to change your world. We're trying to change one simple decision. And if in that moment you could say, you know what, I'm going to put down the soda drink and I'm going to drink a water. I'm going to cut out the seed oil and I'm going to read the labels for something healthier. Every single day, countless times throughout my day, I have to make decisions that are otherwise uncomfortable, decisions that are kind of painful, annoying, frustrating, because the easy path would be just to eat the crap that's sometimes in my pantry, or to go out at a restaurant and not have to scrutinize everything inside the menu to try and find something that is suitable for my body. I also want to hang out with friends. I want to go to a late movie and have a date night, but I'm committed to who I want to be tomorrow and the day after and the day after that. And that requires that I go to bed by 9 p.m. And for me to fall asleep by 9 p.m. and have a good night's sleep, I probably need to be in bed by 8:30 with a tea and a book so I can turn off my brain. And so these are decisions that I have to factor into everything that are supporting me in being the person that I'm committed to being, not just right now, because happiness is fleeting. And if you're making a decision to be happy in this moment, you're giving up on the potential of a lifetime of happiness. And I'm going to tell you now that the short-term sacrifices that I make on a day-to-day basis, and sure, we could nitpick and there could be countless decisions I could have made better just today alone. But I make better decisions more often than I make decisions that I would say negatively impact me. And so I'm going to challenge you. This episode is about challenging you, but not challenging you, as I said, up front in the shame or the blame. It's just a mirror for you to be able to see yourself reflected back to you, that you can ask yourself, where can I in this moment, not worrying about the past or the future, but in this very moment, where could I be more committed to the vision I have for my life and make the very best decision you can make in that moment, and then compound the next one later, because you'll be presented another opportunity to make another decision, and you will eventually find that you start to compound these incredible decisions and make more and more that are leading you closer to the person and ultimately the life that you are worthy of having. And sometimes it's going to be hard and sometimes it's going to be frustrating, but every time the reward at the end outweighs the inconvenience in the middle. I love you so much. I hope that you action something from this episode. I'm going to challenge you to share this episode with somebody that you think needs to hear this very message today. And then please do me a favor. I would love it very much if you would rate and review this episode wherever you listen to your podcasts. Rating and reviewing is not just your way of saying you like the show or you like the episode. It's a way for other people to learn about the Empowered Life podcast, the messages that we share here, and ultimately the love that I have for the future version of who you get to become. And your rating, reviewing, sharing, and subscribing to this not only is impacting you in your life, but it's helping me spread this message for the potential to impact somebody else's. And you could play a key part in that process. If you feel so inclined, I would appreciate your love and support. Until the next episode of the Empowered Life podcast, thank you so much. I love you, and we'll catch you soon. If this episode gave you clarity, peace, or a perspective shift, hold on to that. And here is how you lock it in. Subscribe so that you keep building momentum week after week. And if you're the kind of person that believes a good message should travel, please leave a review. Reviews aren't just ratings. They're signals that help this reach the people who are ready for it. And then share this episode with somebody you love, someone you lead, or somebody that you were rooting for. Links are in the show notes so that you can connect with me online and on Instagram. Now go out there and take one beautiful, bold, and aligned step and make it count. I'm going to catch you on the next episode of the Empowered Life Podcast.